Pleasure.
Scheduled for release on PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox Series X and S.
Yes, we have 120 super
Conrad, the
people
director
working
of
on the
Witcher
game,
3 Wild
and
Hunt,
many of them are actually watching
and the
us
head of production
right now,
for
live from our
Cyberpunk
company Watch Party.
left
So
his position
huge
at CD
shout out to
Projekt
you guys.
in May
You can't
2021.
blame them for being excited. I mean, this is a massive, massive night for the Rebel Wolves team.
And then
for it
joined
to come
here, I
under a
think.
full wolf moon. I mean, it's the perfect time for this reveal.
The Blood of Dawnwalker is the first chapter of a brand new role-playing saga. It's a dark fantasy, narrative-driven, epic adventure set in medieval Europe.
I'm not
with a
sure why the
supernatural
need
twist.
to say, oh, we're going to make a bunch
Our
of games.
aim
It's
for
the
this
first
game
in a
is to
huge
create
saga.
Truly unique experience for you guys.
Let's just focus on the start of the saga.
It's probably so
Because now I already feel like,
I'm going to be honest.
is it going to be a satisfying
so
story?
many
Now, I
things
know
to
she
come to
says
that.
later
I know
on
everyone
it will
here
be
is really
satisfying
excited to
and
show
have a
us
nice
all,
conclusion.
for the very
But
first time. But
for investors,
everyone at home,
maybe,
You
yeah.
can sell
wondering,
more. They
well,
said
what
this
does
is
that
limited
mean for
edition.
us?
We're doing one
Well,
and one only.
You're going to hear more about the world, more about the lore, and for
I'd
the
buy it.
very first time, you're going to see the
Describing it as a dark
I can't wait to
fantasy
see how well
narrative
the community
sandbox
does, poring over every
featuring
second
non-linear
of this trailer.
quests
In the
set
reveal
in
campaign
medieval
so far,
Europe.
They've been incredible.
Oh, yes.
It's
Oh,
Unreal
yeah.
Engine
Discord,
5.
You guys are mind-blowing.
The Discord have
The Blood of Dawnwalker. So Dawnwalker. I don't know why it sounds like Don Juan, you know, like some Cuban energy Hispanic dude who's suave. Dawnwalker. My name is Dawnwalker. I can already do my parody. Hello, my name is Dawnwalker. I am your father. Because I had sex with your mother. Yeah, the music sounds very similar to The Witcher. I don't know if it's the same composer. Stroinsky? I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. Let's see. They are very proud of their music. They started this stream with it, and then they had a musical thing at the end. I think maybe it's this. Piotr, how do you say his name? I think this is the composer. He doesn't put it in here, but it's probably because it just revealed today. His music's beautiful. I'm gonna follow. Peter? That's how you say it? I'm just gonna say Peter.
Why did you start a company? I decided to open the Rebels company because I felt that there is a huge space for innovation
Wow,
and for
that's
evolution
camera.
in the open world RPGs. And to achieve that, you need to have independence and artistic freedom.
He said open world
and sometimes you need to
RPGs.
make and hard and risky decisions. And the best way to do that is to open your own company and to make your own choices. Do you remember the second Fallout from '98?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite games ever, and I was so excited when you used that as a point of reference because for some time now I've been aching to return to the promise and the value of old school computer RPGs.
Yes.
And to combine it with modern graphics, with
yes.
bleeding edge tech, with
Okay, I already
dynamic,
love what these guys
fast-paced
are
combat.
saying.
Merge these two
And
together and see what comes
And
out.
you know what? At first I thought that
And
the
of course,
walking
we don't do
conversation
the
style was awkward, but it makes you feel like you're there with them.
But
This is
what
kind
was
of
really
the
interesting
conversations
from
I
Fallout
have with
is
these
the
developers
freedom.
when we go there.
You could do there whatever you want. You exit the vault, you have
And to
the
take
clear
that
goal in
directly
front of
to you is kind
You
of
don't
cool.
have main quest which telling you, okay, right now do that, next do that. You just like, you know, shape your own main story and you build your own experience. And this is like the total freedom in the games.
Yeah, and as a writer, this is something that excites me about the games the most. The choices, the freedom, non-linearities, and I think this is something
Non-linearities.
that's truly unique to video games. Like you can't
Wow, that's a
emulate
lot of-
that in any other medium.
It's a lot of
So I'm
promises.
so glad that we are making a game that sets out to explore that space and see what else, what new is to be done there. So that's great.
Also, if you will add to that the
I wonder how
sense
long
of
they've been
urgency,
working on this.
the time which actually
Let's
is
see.
not really explored in the video games, and day and night loop, it would be really interesting because it will make the game different.
Yeah, no, I get that because
Well, I know
the sense of
Conrad
urgency is
left
so important, and the
in
context
May
of open world RPGs where
2021,
players can
CD Projekt
become
Red.
distracted and kind of get away from the main
So I'm
story.
going to assume that
So
maybe
finding
he took a
way
year
to
off.
make sure that they remain invested,
And
give
it's
the
probably
main
been
idea
about 2 years.
is so important, and I think it's something that's lacking from the games in that niche.
They think
And
you know
If
Spanish.
you will add to that
Yeah,
the
I do
hero
know Spanish.
who have the different
Okay,
loop
fine.
at day and different loop at the night, it makes the game really unique.
Ain't nothing better than Mexican Coke on this earth. It's the best drink. Mexican Coke. American Coke is shit compared to it. You never drink it again after you have a Mexican Coke. All right, here we go. I'm surprised by Bandai Namco, but I guess they went out looking for a publisher they can work with and that they gel with. You know. So we'll see how that goes. They want multiple games, so they probably signed a lengthy deal if they're already promising multiple games right away with Bandai.
It must be here somewhere.
So this sets up the whole universe. This is probably you as a baby. They're trying to kill you, and you're this aberration that can walk in the day. Dawnwalker.
It's all right.
Damn, you gonna kick a man with a baby?
Don't hurt her.
What's wrong with you? Oh no, it's a girl.
You gave us quite the chase, young.
Please, sir.
She's just a child.
I thought, is the main character female or male?
Remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish.
Looks good.
Not. They spread the plague.
I mean,
just
for
as well as
CGI,
we
this
have.
is not in the game.
And
I mean,
there's
it is in
only
the game,
one
but this is
way
not gameplay.
to stamp out this sickness. No!
That's fucked up.
Not just a runner, but a fighter too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended there.
Oh Jesus. Oh, you got the Blade Trinity vampire with a bunch of teeth. Oh my God, that's a big fat vampire. Punching on you, you're fucking dead. Oh, that vampire's armor, that looks cool. Oh, blood magic. Yanked him with blood. This guy's BDSM and he just explodes. Explodes in a shower of blood. That's good.
Lunka.
Redfall 2? Fuck you! No, this is gonna redeem Redfall. Vampire games can be good, hopefully.
My sister. She needs help.
Maybe
Fast.
this is the main character.
Let us pass through. I beg of you. Please. Please.
He's gonna make him a vampire, yeah? No, he's making her a vampire. Damn. There's not much you can do about that.
I don't know.
Maybe he's helping her?
How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing. Blood spilt carelessly like water.
Took his crown. Sweet.
Things will be different now.
I like.
For all of you.
I like the darkness and the maturity. That's the thing from Witcher. Ah, la 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 la. Well, it's gotta be music from Witcher. That logo even kind of reminds me of like the wolf thing, the Blood of Dawnwalker. The Blood of
So the game
Dawnwalker.
takes place 2 years after the events shown in the intro, and this is just the beginning of a greater saga we were planning. So we get to meet the character at the beginning of his adventure, which I think is really cool. And Cohen in general is so much fun to write and flesh out because he's not your typical game protagonist. He's not a grizzled veteran who's seen it all, who is cynical about the world, who comments the world with like one-liners. He's a young guy who, at heart, is emotional. He can get vulnerable.
Was
He's
he
honest
referring
about
to
how he feels.
Geralt? What was he
Fine. Is that he'll be never a superhero.
So
He'll be never
Cohen is
overpowered.
younger,
At the
more.
day, he, as a human,
know,
he
baby-
can fight with a sword. He
baby
can
in this
use
world.
and discover dark magic, but he can be
So
killed
he's
by
not
anyone.
a veteran. You got to
At
learn
the
this
night,
stuff as you go
he
along.
encountered
Cool,
a
cool.
lot more difficult enemies. He can use some vampiric abilities, not only in combat, but also he can use it to explore the world and to see the world in a totally different way.
Yeah, and he'll need all these cool superpowers because he's facing formidable enemies. This clique of vampires who decided to take over the world,
Gleek.
turn it upside down,
Click.
and set the rules. And they are led by this super old and immensely powerful vampire called Brensis.
Wonder how many takes
game
it
is
took
set in
them to do
14th century
these different
Europe,
things.
and
He's
it's
like,
a world
a
in deep
click.
crisis.
Fuck!
First
Fuck!
continent
Reroll
was
it!
ravaged
We
by
gotta walk
plague,
backwards. We gotta do it all.
and now famine. And all the while, vampires have been watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And finally, when humanity is at its lowest, they come out of the shadows, they overthrow the feudal lords, and they move into their castles.
That's really cool. Okay, now I'm getting the vibe here when we start. When we start the whole event in this vibe, we jumped in midway. I'm just gonna leave this up in this way. Seems good. They're trying to set the tone. This is just the announcement. It is annoying that there's not enough gameplay. I would have wanted to put more gameplay, but I'm willing to give it a pass. Summer 2025? What are the summer months, Ali?
I know that people
Summer
need to pay
months.
taxes in blood, but
June,
it's not a huge
July,
cost
June
of safe and good
20th
life.
through
Well, to that I
September
say that
20th.
vampires' favors are uncertain.
Yeah, June, July, August.
And sure, they protect the people of the valley where the game takes place, but they see them as cattle, so they protect them to then lead them and ultimately kill them. And the blood tax you mentioned, it's that each player will have a unique
I like that.
experience.
Each player, unique
And that's the true
experiences.
magic of video games,
Replayability
and
goes
that's
through the
why I
roof.
love making them.
I don't like timers. I just don't. I'm not one of those that's excited
Welcome
about
back,
timers.
everybody, and I hope you agree.
Well,
that
hopefully
that
30
was
days and
worth
30
the
nights
wait.
is plenty
Now,
of
the
in-game
best
time
news
to get
is that
stuff
we
done.
are just getting started tonight. And first things first, Dominica, that trailer.
I know, right? And for our
Well, Eastern European.
So how long does it take to make a triple A game or a triple A looking game? If this game has been in development for 2 years, how far do you think it is away? I'm going to say this comes out in 2026 or 2027.
That variety in that broad spectrum was
2026.
also interesting
I'd go
to
with.
get because I never thought as an environment artist in Romanian how to Google specific museums just to get the references.
On the other hand, we also set a boundary for ourselves, and that boundary is a time period of inspiration ranging from the 13th to 15th century. And this is meant to ensure the visual consistency of the world.
Yeah, and that is also quite a challenge to make sure that what you create is authentic, grounded, and has a real sense of place. But at the same time, isn't just a picture and invites exploration and promotes that gameplay.
Yes,
I wanted to
I
see how far we
need
could push realism so that players truly feel part of the
exploration
narrative. But
and a
this is
reason to
not
explore.
a simulation of medieval life.
Not at all.
Not a simulation of medieval life. So it's
Realism
not,
can be
say,
boring,
Kingdom
and
Come
we wanted to create
Deliverance
something
2.
exciting.
We're doing something
And
different
that's
than that.
where the
so.
magic comes in.
Yes, the magic.
Our magic isn't filled with fireballs or flashy lights.
So it's not Witcher 3.
Yeah, it's probably even more interesting to get right than the realism part of it, because when a quest brief comes through and the magic is
It's
manifest
action
by,
RPG.
I don't know, birds flying in
But
the
most
sky in a
action
strange formation,
RPGs
or
are
the
very
northern lights
linear in
not
my
being in the north.
experience, but they're
It really
saying,
makes
no,
you rethink
this
whole
is the first
location
one
and
that's
how it should come
non-linear.
together to marry those two aspects.
Our magic is also serious, and it's closer to paranormal phenomena than to traditional spellcasting. It's like the X-Files set in the Middle Ages, all deeply rooted in the history of the Dawnwalker world.
Yeah, and I think it's the weather and the lighting system that do majority of the heavy lifting to take a location and really push it one notch above realism to give it a slightly off feeling. I think my favorite location for that is the cathedral. During the daytime, it's that monument to Gothic architecture with people bustling
Love
around.
Gothic
And then as
architecture,
soon as
yes.
the sun starts setting in and
Wonderful.
the streets clear, the fog starts setting in, and it becomes a completely transformed, different area, very spooky, almost liminal, cemetery-like space.
And that was also a very early and conscious choice on our part. We wanted the world to be a different place after the sunsets.
And this, I think, is where we came in, so I can resume from where we last left off. Seems like they've been walking around this very thematic place, talking about the game. But I want to see gameplay footage. They showed the opening CGI a few minutes ago, very bloody. Okay.
It's a whole new universe.
Let's see. We want gameplay. That's what I want. Vampire games are few. It's really cool to see a higher end one. Yes, I would love to see a higher end vampire gameplay.
Grow throughout their lives. The older the vampire, the more teeth they have. So instead of 2 sharp teeth, they have a series of needle-like fangs.
Whoa.
Densely growing from their jaws, often emerging from different parts of their skull as they age. The teeth keep growing because the vampire can use them to create another vampire.
What are you laughing at, Joe?
And the mechanism
I like
is
it
very
thinking just
simple. The vampire
Warlock's
pulls out his fang.
Can't hear you, what?
Into the heart of
Warlock's
his victim.
voice.
What is that? What are you saying?
Interesting is that
Warlock.
our vampires
Count
Orlok.
aren't visible at
Oh,
first.
Count Orlok's voice in the movie
And it looks
Nosferatu.
really
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I still remember the first time that the animations came through.
Let me see if I can
for
find that
the
voicemail.
character art team, showing the mouth opening and the teeth growing, and it was absolutely disgusting. I loved every bit of it.
When he was working in the mines, is
Creative director right here.
curse. Because on one hand,
And
it
a writer.
Weakens him. On the other hand, it protects him from becoming a vampire fully. So, you know, he gets to traverse both worlds, both the world of humanity and the world of the creatures of the night.
Yeah, well, he was kind of used to dealing with the vampires since it's been like a couple years since Francis took over. Now he has to find a way to deal with things like undead lurking in ancient.
So he's like
ruins,
Blade. He can go day walking, he can go night walking.
kobolds, the
He's in both worlds, the worlds of human and the worlds of vampires. Show
Show
it! Show the game! Why are we doing a reveal if we're not going to do any gameplay?
Yeah, and they are vastly
I appreciate the atmosphere you're setting up for sure, but and talking about the game, but needs to be more gameplay.
Like to you should get to know them a bit. There's something else waiting there for you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, on top of that, you know, get to find all
They
these
have this
secrets and Tales Angora
cinematographer and all
the
these
planets
unique
and,
angles
you know,
and
explore the
great
world.
camera work for walking around talking about the game. But people are excited. People want to see
On
visuals.
top of that, we also have a number of
We need
really
a little
cool
more
gameplay
artwork, a little more,
systems that
even if
further
it's just
feed
concept
into the
art like they were
narrative.
showing before.
And speaking of feeding, my favorite one is the blood hunger. It lets me play a real vampire. I don't just have to drink blood to use my cool abilities in combat,
Yeah.
but if I talk to someone without
She likes
feeding
drinking
first,
blood.
I might just lose control and I might eat them. And it's
She
not
wants to
going
eat
be
everyone.
Just any random peasant that I won't care about. I can eat my best friend,
What?
and I will break my heart. And I will break my quest.
Yeah, so you better keep him well fed.
Yeah, definitely.
This game sounds crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoy the ones
You
that
can
are
eat your best
revolving around
friend
Francis,
and drink their blood.
because like it makes him this
What?
active antagonist. You know, this means that he will basically react to what Cohen is doing. He will pass these edicts that will.
Oh, here we go. Come on.
As you can imagine, last 2 years
Oh.
were really intense for us.
I don't know, there's
I
gonna
want
be
to
some
thank the
vampires.
whole Rebels pack. You are the best, and it's a privilege to work with you. The Blood of Dawnwalker is a very special game for us because it's first truly ours.
Okay.
What you have seen so far is only the beginning. In upcoming months, we will share more with you. But for now, I have one more surprise for you.
Gameplay. Okay, gameplay. A musical performance. I mean, hey, that's some good music right there. Desperate Measure, pure Your turn. Musical? Yeah, this definitely evokes the Witcher songs and theme. I love music like this. I don't know if this is the same band or anything. Well, let me look it up.
See if you would intercut, it would have seemed longer.
Gameplay reveal summer
we
2025. Son of a bitch!
We have a lot to talk about, but
No,
frankly,
that you
some of
combine
those
your first time
concept
revealing the
art,
game with
I mean, those
gameplay
wallpapers,
reveal.
like yesterday,
You don't
if
do a
can.
pre-gameplay
I
reveal
took over it, no
show.
worries.
Well, one of the big things
Somebody-
that really, really matters.
Somebody
in
opened
these
the
games
fire
is
exit.
That time matters. You're only gonna have 30 days to make all.
Joe,
of
did
these
you do
things.
something?
Well, it is
Never.
actually 30 days and 30 nights.
Yeah, that
So
was coming
as
from
far
there.
as your objective perspective, you could already see, and yes,
Okay.
the game will be in the third-person perspective.
Curious about
To
that.
give you that classic action RPG feel. where
Action
you are
RPG,
really
there it
dropped
is.
Into the middle of action.
That's exactly how an
ARPG.
RPG
So
should
I'm
be,
assuming it's
and
probably
one of the things that I learned here
Not massively
about
open
the
world
game.
or anything. It's more
Speaking of
directed
classic
experience
RPGs, the Blood of
when you go
Dawnwalker
action
will have
RPG.
No microtransactions. It will have no live service elements.
No
There will be
microtransact, no live
NFTs or any
service.
of that stuff. It's just going to be a pure single-player experience, the kind of
Because
game
Polish
that
developers,
an RPG should be.
That's
they
right,
know how it
that's
should
right.
be. Good gaming,
Wow.
fight
Now,
for
we
good
did
gaming.
promise earlier that we'd keep our eyes on the questions
And these
coming
guys
in, so
seem to be
I will
doing that.
ask the big one. Dominica, do we have a release date?
Oh, I knew that would happen at some point. Okay. Well, about the release date, we are not
Rebel
quite
Wolves.
ready to announce it just yet. But don't worry, once we are confident about this, we will
Oh,
let
yes,
you know,
we do
and
have a
we will
release date,
definitely
run
let
that
all of
too.
you guys know as well. But in the meantime, join our official social media channels. We will be posting a lot in the upcoming months.
Published
and
by
giving you even more
Bandai
insight into
Namco.
the universe of Dawnwalker.
Huh.
Yes, and if you just can't
That's
wait
in-
for
that's
more
different.
Dawnwalker content, check out the upcoming issue of PC Gamer as well.
Dawnwalker,
It's just a
this
few
time
weeks
focusing
away.
on the
and-
gameplay features and unveiling how it actually
All right,
works.
it's coming.
Until then,
I hate the
thank you so
I hate
much for
that.
joining us
I'd
tonight,
rather they
everyone.
just
Stay
reveal
safe.
with
We
that.
will see
That
you
would be
soon.
cool.
Bye.
But they wanna whet your appetite. They wanna get you excited. I'm waiting for the show to end so we can go to the beginning just to see if there was that 4-minute reveal thing, maybe a CGI thing. But clearly that's probably about as much gameplay as we're gonna get right now.
You
Gotta pause up in here. So the graphics look pretty detailed. This is Unreal Engine 5. I love the effect on the eyes. Now, I guess with an ARPG, you can mix in sort of Spider-Man elements. You know how in Spider-Man they have these directed cutscenes where you're jumping through, flying shipping containers and stuff. This is probably something like that. And when you're actually on the ground, it is a third-person action. And if this is where the camera is, it's pretty close. I'm going to say the camera's probably not that close, because that might be too close. He can sort of phase out. That is pretty close still. And then you fight bosses. And the camera pans out here to say, hey, look at this huge open world. It gives you the idea that you can go anywhere and everywhere, which is got me curious. Most ARPGs don't really do that open world, but maybe they are doing it here. And that would be pretty sweet. That's it. It's literally like 5 seconds of gameplay. But it very much does remind me of Witcher. Like, I can't even scroll inside of it. I have to go before or after the reveal just to see it. All right. Well, let me know what you think of this one. Dawnwalker game. We will keep an eye on it. Looks interesting. I want a good vampire game. We've been waiting forever for Vampire Bloodlines 2, and then that project kind of, got off the rails, and hopefully is back on the rails. I think that is releasing this year, if I'm not mistaken. They went through a lot of behind-the-scene turmoil. So if that game's a failure, you got another vampire game to look forward to. And the last vampire game we played, not good. Redfall. So hopefully this redeems vampire games in that sense. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. It's a trailer reaction to the reveal for the Blood of Dawnwalker. And we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.